What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video where I've been having a huge amount of fun in Countdown with this build that I'm going to show you today. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let's get straight into it. Right, okay, so this was the best Countdown that I could possibly have recorded because we didn't get any long range bonus or short range bonus. That short range bonus buff really does inflate numbers. But with this build, we are using concentrated company. Now you can see at the bottom here, which is really why I wanted to show you some kind of gameplay footage, that the bar doesn't look like I've got any progress towards the 4-piece bonus buff at all. I actually have. It's probably almost maxed out. You'll notice there'll be every now and again I'll hit for probably 1.2 mil, 1.3 mil. I do put damage numbers on here actually looking at it. Just so I can double check that I'm kind of getting to the top of my max stacks. But as well, I do survive really easy as well. I've got a huge amount of survivability built into this build by the way of armor regen, and also some armor on kill as well to boot. Now, you can switch a couple of pieces out. I'll make some recommendations in just a minute, but I think that's enough with the gameplay footage. We'll just move on to the actual build. Just before we do though, so just be aware that you can switch a piece in and out to get the concentrated company buff working again, but that does also reset your stacks, which is actually pretty painful because you've spent all that time building the stacks up. In Countdown, it's kind of perfect. You build the stacks up immensely quick, really quick, which is why to me it's kind of my Countdown set. Although it does work well in a team outside of Countdown, it is literally my Countdown set, to be perfectly honest, and that's why I put together this build and we're putting out this video. So let's take a look. Actually, just 2 more seconds before we do, you can see here I unequip the mask and put the mask back on just to show you the actual problem that arises. I go up these steps and I kill the bad guy that is up here. We get a stack, so you can see now at the bottom I have actually got a stack. The problem is if you lose all the stacks, it then becomes visually bugged, and you, even though it does count up and you do still get the damage, you don't know how many stacks you've got until you reset the process by swapping a piece of gear again. So obviously it's going to take me quite a while now to run to the next place. By that time I'll get there, I'll have lost all my stacks, and although they will build, it's a visual bug, it won't show me on the menu below that they are building. So at least you are still getting the damage, but yeah, not perfect. So you probably heard the boo in the background, but here is the build. Now, the one piece that we're going to talk about swapping out, we're going to talk about the Liquid Engineer straight away. I do like the armor regen on this. I do like the core attribute being blue as standard, meaning we can get one with critical hit chance and damage fairly easy because it comes with perfect bloodsucker. You can see I've got a crit hit damage mod in, but you could quite easily swap this out for the memento, and to be honest, it probably would work better because you'll probably stack up armor a little bit quicker. You'll have to collect the tokens, and you don't have to be reliant on getting the kill in 8-man content. So we'll swap that over and we'll put that on. I have tried it before. I don't know what it is. I just kind of have a thing for the Liquid Engineer, the fact that when you get the kill, you have got the damage, you know, there and there. Well, the bonus armor straight away. You don't have to collect any tokens or anything like that. So that puts us at 55.5 crit chance and 81 crit hit damage. Don't forget though, we are going to get some buffs inside of Countdown, so we don't need to worry about too much damage. We will get some extra in there as well. It's all a little bit about adding survivability to the build. Then we've got 4-piece concentrated company and the equalizer chest piece. Now my equalizer chest piece I've rolled to blue. I'm very lucky I got a crit chance, crit damage one, meaning I could keep the core attribute whatever I wanted. I would recommend getting one of these. Being able to switch the core attribute is super useful, and it's not too hard to farm. But we get 5% extra rate of fire, helping our burst DPS. Then when it comes to concentrated company, this as well does normally roll with a red core attribute, so you are going to have to farm one with crit chance or crit damage. They can be different to mine, just depends on, you know, if you get crit chance or crit damage, don't worry too much about it because you can then boost the crit chance if needed with mods. So you can see here I got crit hit damage on this one because this is one I use for an all red build. And it's the same for this one here. Crit hit chance on this one. Again, one I use for an all red version as well. But I kind of wanted to have 4 blues in there as well, just to give me some tankiness if I needed to. But when it comes to concentrated company, we get weapon damage, weapon handling, which works really well with the LMG. But shooting enemies, mark them for 7 seconds. When a marked enemy dies, receive 1 stack of 3% weapon damage and 2% critical hit damage. The reason this is perfect is because we've taken weapon damage off our build to build in survivability, but we're going to be getting it back. And we're going to have them stacked kind of capped out really easily a lot of the time. For each ally or kill or skill that contributes to killing the enemy, including myself, the max stacks is 35. Stacks decay every 10 seconds, which is super slow. Now, we're not using the chest of the backpack for any enhancements to that. We're just going to run as is. And it just works brilliantly. Like I said, a couple of options here. Memento. Or to be honest as well, you could, instead of running the Liquid Engineer, if you don't want the 1% regen, you could really go all out and farm yourself a unit alloys backpack, which would let you have the rate of fire, meaning you could put something else in the holster. I probably wouldn't. I'd probably stick with something like this. I think it would just be better. Or you could go with a concentrated company backpack like this and then roll in overdogs or contractors gloves for a little bit of extra damage as well. There's loads of different ways that you can do it, but really the focus of this video is just to say, listen, concentrated company is really good in Countdown. To me, it probably is the Countdown set. It just plays really well. As far as guns go, I like to use the Bluescreen. You can tag so many enemies with it and disrupt them, especially useful when it comes to the end part against the hunters. You can kind of disrupt them just by either using a skill or killing a regular enemy. It really does pay off. And to be honest, most of the time I just let it do its thing by when I get enemy kills. So you can see here, this effect will trigger immediately if any marked enemy is killed, meaning that you're doing all of this so much of the time. Again, even more so in Countdown because of the huge amount of enemies and the huge amount of players that you've got in there as well. I roll mine with crit chance because that means it's always on. In Countdown, to be honest, you'll probably do better with a damage to armor Bluescreen, but I like to just have one that I want to use for all content. But then as well, you'll also have to adjust your stats to make sure that your critical hit chance is as close to 60% as it possibly can be without going over. So that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you for all your love and support, agents. Have a great day and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.